Hello there, curious people. The crucifixion stands as a chilling symbol of ancient brutality, a punishment so gruesome that it has left an indelible mark on history. This method of execution, designed to inflict maximum pain and humiliation, was practiced by various civilizations, but it was the Roman Empire that employed it with particular ruthlessness and efficiency, making it synonymous with their rule. Crucifixion served not merely as a death sentence, but as a powerful deterrent, a public spectacle meant to instill fear and discourage rebellion. It was a punishment reserved for the lowest strata of society: slaves, rebels, and those deemed enemies of the state. The very mention of crucifixion evoked terror throughout the Roman world, a grim reminder of the empire's power and the consequences of defying its authority. The process of crucifixion was a meticulously designed ordeal, each step calibrated to maximize suffering. It began with a scourging, where the condemned would be whipped mercilessly with a flagrum, a whip embedded with pieces of bone and metal. This brutal beating, often leaving the victim's back a mangled mess of torn flesh and exposed bone, was merely a prelude to the main event. The victim, usually forced to carry their own crossbeam to the execution site, would then be stripped naked and nailed or tied to the cross. The cross, often left standing for days or even weeks, served as a grim warning to all who beheld it. While often associated with the Romans, crucifixion did not originate with them. Evidence suggests that this brutal practice first emerged in ancient Persia, possibly as early as the 6th century BCE. The Persians, known for their harsh penal system, likely used crucifixion as a method of execution for rebels and enemies of the state. From Persia, the practice spread westward, adopted by the Greeks, Carthaginians, and eventually the Romans. The Romans, however, refined crucifixion into a gruesome art form, transforming it into a chilling symbol of their power and authority. Crucifixion was one of the cruelest ways the Romans had 2,000 years ago to execute their victims or any individual who was against them. Those nailed to these logs died in cruel tortures agitatedly as they bled to death slowly. Yet the other people who passed by, to those who were nailed, they laughed at, mocked them, spit, and threw stones at them. Yes, the Jews did that. While from their naked bodies, drop by drop, the blood slowly came out, the summer heat or the winter cold played an important role in the torture until they died. Yes, our Arden was crucified naked too. Some of them did not die quickly enough, so the Roman soldiers gave them vinegar mixed with wine and myrrh, those who did not die of thirst and agony. Then the soldiers got their legs broken by brutally beating them with a thick stick and hammers. Crucifixion was the most common capital death penalty used for millennials of years. Originally used by the Babylonians, then the Egyptians, and later got perfected by the Romans. Used to execute in the most painful way possible any criminals or those who were against their politics and their pagan beliefs. Without any mercy, they took people to be nailed to a tree, that is, they tied their arms and legs to nail their hands and feet. While this was a joke for the soldiers to hear them cry out for mercy, every man except this young Jew who didn't open his mouth. To their surprise, Yahushua never asked for mercy, but rather he asked for forgiveness for them, and did not come down from that lumber, being an obedient son of the heavenly Abba. These people were already so weak for the whipping, cutting, and hitting that it did not take a long time for most of them to die. If these were young people, they took a little longer, and the soldiers wanted to continue killing, needing to kill a certain number of victims. Yes, they also raped, beat, cut, whipped, and crucified women. The crucifixion of the Mashiach had been prophesied thousands of years before he was born. Yahushua knew that his end was near and foretold about his crucifixion. Remember that Yahushua dies for you. You are very important for Yahweh. Thanks for watching. Shalom.